Without further ado, I want to welcome you to our session on making your classroom interactive with Sarah Sognini. And I'll give you the floor.
Thank you, Sally. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you attending this presentation today. So let me share my screen. I'm going to be mostly screen sharing through this. So today I want to share with you a really great tool called H5P. Let me make sure everybody can see my screen. You should be able to see my screen. So H5P is a free online resource for developing really great interactive content. So there's lots of different, they call them content types, but lots of different tools where you can create great learning materials. Not all of them are accessible. I'll show you a list of the ones that are accessible. Most of them are. But today I'm really just going to go over how to create an interactive video, and I'm going to show you a course presentation that's interactive as well. So I'm going to dive right in. I'm going to go pretty quickly because I have a lot to share. I really just kind of walk you through the process of how to do this. And I'm going to have Sally man in the chat. So Sally, if anybody pops up with any questions and I need to stop, just let me know. So here's an interactive presentation. This is just a presentation of myself talking about the tool H5P. Okay, so I actually recorded this video in Zoom and I pulled it over to YouTube so that I could close caption it and do a little bit of editing there. So I'm going to show you how this presentation is interactive. I'm just going to kind of scroll through here and let me mute the presentation. You can take any YouTube video or video of your, that you create yourself, and you can bring it into H5P. There are a few settings that you have to make sure are checked in order to do that, and I'll walk you through that. You can add bookmarks. Here I have a bookmark right here. You can add questioning. If I play this, you see a true/false question pops up. And students can answer the questions as they're going through the video. Now, this is not intended to feed to the grade book. At this point in time, it's just for developing kind of supplemental materials to enhance your course and to make it more engaging, kind of fill in the gaps, add some scaffolding if you see that there's a need for it. So you can add multiple choice questions. And you can add images. And you can add text. Let me play this. Let me make this bigger so you can see it better. And you can add links. Okay, so those are some of the things that you can add. There's lots of different types of questions. So I'm going to pause this right now and I'm going to walk you through the process of how to do that. So this is my YouTube channel. I know a lot of you guys have them. If you don't, they're very easy to set up. So I'm going to go to my YouTube channel. I'm going to find the video that I want to make interactive. Here's that video. And it's very easy. Once you have it in YouTube, you just go to the share button. You're going to copy that link, and then you're going to pull it into H5P. One thing you do have to, a setting you do have to confirm that you have checked is, and this is a really important part because in your view, it might look like it's all good, but when you share it out with your students, they won't be able to access it. So in the edit mode of YouTube, details, go to advanced, and you have to make sure that you allow for embedding. Okay, I have this all shared out in a presentation I'm going to give to you after. It's actually an H5P columns style presentation. Okay, so I have that link copied on my clipboard. Now I'm going to go over to my H5P account, which when you create your account, and again, I'm going to go back to this page. This is that H5P page, and I'll give you this link. You just create a free account. It's very easy. And when you do, you will be able to add content. Okay, so I'm going to click on this add content button. Sorry that I'm going fast. My dry runs, I ran out of time. So these are all the different options for the interactive content. I'm going to make an interactive video. So I'm gonna click on that one. And I'm going to give it a title. This is going to be H5P Introduction to Interactive Videos. And I'm gonna add a video. All I have to do is paste that link right there. Whoops, for some reason it didn't do it. Let me go back to my video, make sure I have the right link. Share it, sorry about that. And let me add the video. Oh, I think I did add something else on my clipboard. Sorry about that. Okay, so this should work. There's my YouTube video. I know it's working now. So I'm going to add interactions. And so there's my YouTube video. Okay, so now I'm in edit mode of H5P. And you can see these are all the different interactions that I can add to this video. So I have some notes here. I'm really just going to make it the way as the video was that I originally showed you. So I'm going to add a bookmark, and I have some notes here at 25 seconds. Let me pause this so it doesn't keep playing. So I'm just going to show you how I did those interactions. Bookmark is right here, and I'm just going to call that Intro to Interactive Video, and I know that's the place where I'm talking about it. Okay, so that bookmark shows up. My next interaction I want to add is that true and false question. So at 32 seconds, I'm going to add a true and false question. So this is the screen that pops up. You can set your display time. So if you remember from what I showed you earlier, the true and false question was a button. There was a poster and then there was a button, and I'll show you, what those differences are. I'm not going to have the video pause, but I don't need it to run for 10 seconds. I really only need it to run for about 4 seconds. So it's really just giving the students enough time to click on that video and answer that question. The label is what actually pops up on the screen. So I'm gonna label it question 1, true, false, okay? And then title is what's in the scroll bar. So I'm gonna give it the same title. All right, and then my question is, and to save time, I kind of created this little document with my questions that I can just copy and paste from. Here's that true and false question. The answer is true. So I can add images, text, links, questions, and bookmarks. I'll show you the behavioral settings very quickly. This is just to enable a retry, show solution. These ones here are for the student to double check that they want to finish answering the question. I think it's unnecessary and kind of annoying if I were a student, so I don't like those. So there's my true false question. I'm going to bring it over to the side, and I'm going to keep moving forward, adding more interactions. So let's next add that multiple choice question, which is at 43 seconds. And I'm going to add multiple choice. That one, if you recall, it was a poster, so it popped up on the screen right away. The students don't have to click on it. So I'm gonna keep the video paused for that one. And the video only really needs to pause for like a second, if that, because students are going to answer that question. I'm gonna title this question 2, multiple choice. All right, and that question is, let me go to my little document, copy it, paste it here. And the options are obviously multiple choice. So this is referring to, the question is basically what types of questionings can we offer? True, false, and add an option. We can actually do drag and drop. I know all of us educators love drag and drop, and it is accessible as long as you have the tab order correct. If you want to know more about that, I'm happy to share. Just reach out to me. So I'm going to add one more option because those are all correct, and it's going to be all of the above. And this is correct. We're going to make sure that we want to establish that that's the correct answer. Now, because it's all of the above, we want to make sure that those options don't shuffle. So we want to, and it's automatically selects to randomize the answers. Well, we don't want that if we have an all of the above. So let's take a look at that. Here's that question. It pops up as a poster. You can open it up, expand it, so you can view the whole thing, and there you go. Okay, so those are two of the questions styles that you can add. We can also add, I'm gonna very quickly add an image at 50 seconds, whoops. And we'll have it pop up as a poster. We'll have it run just for like 5 seconds. We're not gonna pause it. And hopefully I can find that image very quickly. And we have to have an alt text, right? Anytime you have an image, we need to have an alt text. So again, I have that, so I can easily copy and paste it. So that's just describing what's in that image. And so there's, as you can see, there's a lot of other features in there that you can play around with. There's a lot to this tool. Let's add some text. That one text box at 102. Okay. Add some text, and it's going to be a poster. We don't want the video to pause. We don't need it to run for 10 seconds. It seems like that's the default. And we want that text to talk about accessibility. Always make sure that your videos are accessible. Okay, and let's add some visuals. Let's add a background color to that. Okay, so there's our text. And I'm gonna stop there. You can also add a link. It's very easy. I was gonna add a H5P link. So we're done adding a few interactions to this video. Let's save it. And there it is. So you can see all those interactions, and we can, of course, you want to double check, make sure everything is running correctly. So we have that bookmark, play. And you have your first true false question. Let's answer it. Make sure that we checked the correct answer. There we go. Let's take a look at the multiple choice, all the above. And so it looks like everything's functioning as we wanted it to. There's our image popping up. And here's our text. That should pop up over here. Okay, so now what do we do with it? Now let's bring it into Canvas, into our classroom. Let me pause that. Okay, so over here, these three little dots at the top right corner, we want to go publish. I'm going to make this public. And I'm going to grab the embed code because we want it to pop up on the Canvas screen rather than being like a link. I think embedding is nice. So that's copied. We're going to update it because we changed it to public. And I'm going to go to my Canvas page. So this is my sandbox that I get to play with all these tools in. I'm going to add an announcement. So you go announcements here, right? You guys know how to do this. Add an announcement. And I'm going to call it H5P. Yeah. Interactive video. Of course, I can't type when I'm presenting. And I'm going to go HTML editor. So if you just wanted to like make an announcement, just typing text, then you would have it in this rich text editor. But if you want to copy code, you have to go to the HTML editor, and I'm going to paste that code in here. And then I'm going to save it. Fingers crossed. There it is, okay, with all of its interactive elements. Okay, so students will get emailed this interactive video, and it'll also pop up on your course homepage. And so they would just click on that, and there's your video. Okay. So now let's say you just don't have a video, but you want to make like a presentation interactive. So we can do that as well. Let's go to here. I'm going to show you an interactive presentation. So I have put this all in columns. And I believe Dan Tignanow and Adam Goodschmidt are going to present on columns tomorrow, which is a really great tool that H5P offers. And so I put this all in columns. So I have my interactive video followed by some text that says, I like the interactive video options, but I prefer creating slide presentations instead. What are my options? So here's an example of how you'd create a slide presentation. I'm not going to dig too deep into this. I'm just going to kind of show you that it's very similar to the interactive video in terms of, you know, adding those interactions. The interface is basically the same once you go into edit mode. So I want to, though, quickly share this, and many thanks to Jamie Lynn for designing this. This is how to create timed captions for your videos using YouTube. So if you want to create your videos in Zoom or even create them in YouTube, here's how you're going to create those timed captions. It's actually very easy. So if you go to your, access your YouTube page, go to your channel. Then you're going to access your video, and I kind of showed you how I did that earlier. Click Edit Video. Then you're going to click Creator Classic Studio. So here's where I have a little bit of interactivity into this presentation. You can click on this information button, and it has some text that pops up that says captions are currently available only through the Creator Classic Studio, not the beta version. And that was just, I believe, since this year. So you have to access it through the Creator Classic Studio. And here's a question for you, which I already answered for you. I guess I didn't reset this. So moving on, once you go into the Creator Classic Studio, click on Subtitles. And that will open up the two different ways that you can transcribe or create subtitles or create closed captions. Okay, so the first option I think is the easiest. Basically, you're just playing your video and typing what you're saying. And if you click this little box right here, every time you type, it'll pause the video. Makes it very easy. Once you're done transcribing, you click this blue button here that says Set Timings, and YouTube will automatically set the timings for you. The other option is to type in and you are manually setting the timings for this other option. I found this very difficult. So I just allowed YouTube to do it. And if there was and then I checked it. And if there's any edits that were needed, then I did it in this area. Okay. So we have to have closed captions on all of our videos. We want to make all of our learning materials accessible to be compliant with web content accessibility guidelines, as well as quality matters. And here's another true-false question that I added into this presentation. So, sorry I went through that so quickly. This presentation down here is really, and I can share this link with you guys. It'll be very easy to do that. I'll just copy this link and put it in the chat. But this is just going over how to bring those YouTube videos into H5P, and it walks you through making sure you have that allow embedding checked, just to remind you. So let's take a look at the different types of content that H5P offers. And this is the content accessibility. So these are all the different content types and if they are accessible or not. So I guess almost means that they're working on it. But it's pretty cool. So that's the end of it. Let me see what's going on in the chat. Sorry, I've ignored everybody in the chat.
if you have any questions,
Any
please feel
question?
free to type them in the chat.
Oh,
And
yes,
as I
this is
made a
being
quick comment,
recorded.
it is being recorded. So
Um,
for those of us who are like
thank you for all
myself,
the questions. Yes, Dan, of course, everybody check out Dan tomorrow. So if there's any questions, now is a great time. Thank you, Diane. How can we access the recording? That's a question for Sally.
that you will get information
Sally,
into
can
that.
you
It's
pop
all
in with that?
being sent to the cloud, and we'll let you know how to access all of the sessions, and that'll be great faculty development throughout the whole year. So stay tuned.
Oh, excellent. So Sita will send it on email.
Diana is always, she's like always there for me. When I don't know the answer, she's just like there.
So learning resources vetted H5P. And so you can just go to the H5P page and create a free account.
We love our free accounts.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sally.
Sarah, thank you very much for this.
Absolutely. Thank you for attending this presentation. If you come up with any questions, please feel free to reach out and email me. I love working with faculty. It's a pleasure.
And you have a Zovio email account, correct? So
Yes,
it would
ma'am.
be first dot last name at Zovio. Okay, great.
Yeah, the only trick is spelling my last name. So,
Hey, from where I'm from, it's, you know, it's kind of normal. Well, again, thank you all very much, and enjoy the rest of your TLC.
yes, thank you. Take care.